The Wallabies played right into the English hands with the way we played.
Phipps goes in. It pops out the net. There's a mistake. A mistake after all that.
Yeah, we had a lot of phases there and couldn't get it over, so that's disappointing, but they're the moments in games that matter.
Australia played a lot of rugby, but I'm not sure we played the smartest rugby the whole time. We didn't vary our game enough.
England was smart too. They didn't play a lot of football. They played field position. They put the Wallabies under pressure with their defence.
How many times have the English survived the onslaught?
We need to be able to vary the way we attack near their line or vary the way we attack around the field.
You've got to be able to adapt through the game. Come from playing Super Rugby, which is an open, expansive form of the game, but you've got to be smart enough to bring it back to play test match footy.
We had tried the same thing so many times, we weren't scoring, so we had to think of a new way to accumulate points and count in threes instead of fives and sevens.
You keep presenting the same picture, they keep answering the same questions, and that's what you saw tonight.
You know, I've got to learn that as a coach. Playing a lot of footy doesn't win you the game always. So we've got to learn to play a lot of footy and win the game too, you know.
Well, that begs the key question for us tonight. What were the Wallabies' tactics? Where were the problems, and what should they change them to for this week? Darryl, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, Australia are set themselves up as a position team. They want to hold the ball and use it wisely, you know, with all their structure and shape to try and score tries. You know, that's their dominant game plan. And I think in this game, what undid them was those mistakes. You know, they kept copying up regular position to the opposition who capitalised. You know, that was very smart. When Australia get that right, they're going to be a really attacking, threatening team.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is the longer the phases go, the harder it is for an attacking team to clean the ruck, get set, come square and come again. Where the defence just has to keep rolling around the ruck, getting in there 1, 2, 3, coming forward. The attack, the longer the phases go, the harder it is to stay in your attacking structure and be a force. So I think that's the challenge is if we're going to go for 21 phases, how do we stay strong in our attack, come forward and put pressure on the D?
Yeah, do you think they were tactically outplayed in the game? I mean, wet conditions, a little bit slippery, and you've got a possession-orientated game plan.
Yeah,
do you need to modify it?
Well, I think Australia lack another kicking option. You know, they rely a lot on Foley. Phipps is developing as a kicker, but in terms of, you look at England, they've got two excellent kickers, you know, at their beck and call, and I think they did an excellent job of putting England in the right parts of the field.
No inside runners from Foley. It was just that long pass from Fangat, from Phipps to Foley. Nothing in those inside channels. No pick and drive. And we didn't have any. We had the one variety of tack. Would that be hopefully something that we change up?
I think so. I think obviously more variation in the Australian tack.
The pillar and the first offender were never challenged.
Yeah, and also what you're mentioning there is having more attack off 9. You know, we in Australia tend to tackle off 10.
We sat with George Gregan after the game Saturday night, and that's what he kept on saying. You've got to have a running 9.
You've got to challenge those first 3 or 4 defenders off either side of the ruck. Otherwise, what happens?
Well, those first 3 defenders give confidence to the line speed. If they're coming on the inside, that means the guys outside there, 4, 5 and 6, can continually push up because they know if somebody does want to dart back on the inside, they've got the cavalry coming. If you can check that 1, 2 and 3 defender and you get out to that 4th player and you want to start coming back in and they're not in their space, they haven't shut the gate, there's opportunities to come back inside. Those first 3 or 4 defenders are giving real confidence to those outside guys just to keep coming. And we need to challenge that little area there to make sure that those outside guys have to back off a little bit.
We can change that in 1 week, correct?
Yep, absolutely.